peeps, welcome to another video. Today it is the lace and crepe back satin stash that I'm going to be showing you. So as you can tell, if you've watched the last two videos, I am filming this all on Friday afternoon and it is 4:30 and today's vlog is still not finished uploading, so it's now been 16 hours that this thing's been uploading for. So I'm actually slightly worried about this weekend's videos. So these long videos, these stash videos, they're usually around about 8-9 gigs, so they take quite a long time to upload, and this one today is only 2.5, so yeah, wish me luck people, wish me luck. Right, anyway, I have the notebook, I have the pen, I have the fabrics, so yeah. Right, shall we start? You can just about see Chiana's little head back there. She's a bit annoyed that the fabric's taking over the bed. She'll come and sit on it in a minute, although none of this is particularly comfortable fabric to sit on. Anyway, the first one that I have here is this copper sequined, and it's sequined onto mesh, and I got this, in fact Mum and Dad got me this, and it's to go with this coppery one that's back here, but it's slippery, so I'll get that out at a later point to show you. But so Mum and Dad got me this because I was going to be making this jacket. I have the khaki brushed cotton twill already, and I asked you guys in Vlogtober, should I make this jacket? I was going to make the Kelly anorak with this as the sleeves, and it's to be an everyday jacket, and you guys were like, don't be stupid, everyday jacket, sequins, it's not going to work, do faux leather instead. And I did. I got some faux leather and I haven't made it yet, but I'm going to, but it's going to look really cool. So the coppery stuff that I've got back here that goes with this was going to be the lining of that jacket, and I have since realised that it goes perfectly with this, so I ought to really use this and that together to make a dress. And what I'm going to do is I'll put this to the side, and when I get to the coppery stuff I'll show you them those two together. I have 1 metre of this and I have 3 meters of the other thing, and I think that those two together need to be put into some kind of dress form. I think they will be beautiful. So now I have no idea what type of dress I want to make with these two fabrics, but it's so pretty, so pretty. And I you know, I've done all the research of how to work with sequins, and I know what I'm doing, so there's all, you know, all that. But yeah, still not worked up the courage to actually do anything with it yet, although that's because up until last October it was going to be coat sleeves. So yes, anyway, moving swiftly on. Mum bought me this one. It is a turquoisey green lace which has got scallops on both edges with kind of like the eyelash lace look. And Mum bought me all that they had left of 3 of them. So there's this one, a navy one and a black one, which I'll be showing you any minute now. This one's on quite a big mesh net, and the flowers are kind of iridescent. And I've not got it out of the cupboard because there's 10 meters of it, and it is basically crepe back satin, and it's flesh coloured, or at least it's my sort of flesh coloured. And the plan is, as Mum and Dad bought me 10 meters of it because they bought me 3 sets of these laces, all of which are around about 3 meters long. And what I would like to do is, there's this Lacala dress which I have made the bodice for a couple of other people with different skirts on it, but I would like to make that dress with this stuff with the waistband in the same colour as this, and I have those coming up as well in here, but the bust part and the skirt part with the flesh coloured satin underneath of it, so it looks like a nude illusion dress, so that you have the colour all the way, so you have the waistband with a solid colour, and then this over the nude coloured crepe back satin, so that it looks like an illusion dress. I think that's going to look awesome. If the solid band at the middle doesn't work, I think it will with the navy and the black especially, but maybe with this one it might look a bit weird, because I remember that this was a very difficult colour to match, so it could end up being that this one just has the lace at the waistband as well. But yeah, that's the plan with this one. I think I have enough, in fact I know I have enough, that I would make a full flouncy skirt rather than the same skirt as the Lacala pattern, but that's the plan. This is so pretty. It's very, very lightweight. It's not the softest thing you've ever felt in your life, but then not many laces particularly are, or at least the ones that I've felt, so it's not the end of the world. With this as well, with the little cap sleeves, I'd use the scalloped edge and put nothing underneath those, so the cap sleeves are completely sheer. But yeah, it's really pretty, and it's totally my colour. But you can just about see my lampshade poking out there, which is the same colour as this. It's beautiful. I love this. Next is some more lace. Mum bought me this. I think she got it in Saudi Arabia. She could possibly have gotten it somewhere else though. I've already had a dress made out of this, and I did not make that dress myself, but I designed it. It's the Grace dress, and it was the basis for the Grace dress was always going to have these kind of laces over the top. I'm going to put a picture up here of me wearing it. Fingers crossed I have one. I think I have one with my friend's boyfriend Chris, who has a very impressive beard. But yeah, so it's got crystals all over it, and then the edge is kind of lots of little circles, and then it has this bit sewn on, but you can totally chop that off so that the edge is all circles. Now I don't have there's basically just scraps of this left, and very little of this edging bit left, but I hope that I have enough to make some kind of a top out of this one. I'm just going to say scraps, and I'm not going to unravel it because it's a pain in the proverbial to unravel, but there's a decent amount there. There is a decent amount there to make something with. Oh, this one is very boring. There is just black tulle. So there's just 5 meters of this, and this was bought with the intention of using it as an interlining for one of the silk dupionis that I have, just to give it a little bit extra structure underneath the skirt. So, you know, that's what that one is. Right, so again, I'm not gonna completely unravel this because it's a saree, so there's so much fabric here, but there's different panels. Oh, 2 secs, I'm back. That was just Dad letting me know what's for supper. Jacket potatoes. Awesome. Right, anyway, where was I? Sarees. So you guys probably know how sarees work, but the end tends to be highly beaded and really interesting, and then one of the borders has lots of stuff going on, and then there's just lots of net or plain for the bit that wraps around this sort of area. So there's some really beautiful parts of this, and I want to make it into a dress of some form or description, and I don't know quite what as yet. I need to have a play with that, but yeah, it's really beautiful. Gold with blue piping, and then pearls and crystals and sequins all over it. So Mum bought 2 of them. There's another one here. This one's Big Bird's, this one's mine. Given that Big Bird is taking up sewing with a bit more vigor, I think I should give her back her fabrics, make her work with them. Although given that it's taken me nearly 5-6 years to work up to the point of wanting to even attempt slightly more tricky fabrics, maybe not. So yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this as yet, but it's going to be some kind of evening dress, and it's really pretty. And then this one is Big Bird's. This is even heavier. This one is a solid fabric the whole way through, not sheer netting like mine is, but the beading on this is even more intricate and involved. There you go, look at that, isn't it stunning? So I have no idea what she wants to do with that, but it's going to be fun trying to get that under the sewing machine. That one's not mine, this one's Big Bird, so it's ended up in my stash for safekeeping, but I think she should have that back. Here is number 2 of the laces that Mum and Dad bought for me from Saudi Arabia. This is the navy one. Again, there there's a scallop detail on the edge, but you can cut this bit off to reveal the scallop. And then this one's kind of got tinsel in it. It's not beads, it's yeah, like tinsely. It sounds like tinsel. Do you know what I mean? In the nicest possible way. There's cat fluff all over it as well. Again, that Lacala bodice. I haven't made that Lacala bodice for me as yet. There's going to be a picture there. I haven't made that dress for myself as yet, but I absolutely love it on everyone that I've made it for, and they've been very different shapes, but it still looked stunning on them. And the idea that I have with the Nude Illusion kind of fabric underneath, I think is going to look beautiful. And for me, going out dresses that I want to go dancing in tend to be shorter, and then I feel it's weird if it's too long. I don't want to go dancing in it because it feels too fancy. So if it's shorter, then I feel better in it. So just above knee length is usually quite a good length on me, and with the scallops I think that would be really pretty. So anyway, there's 3 meters of this one as well. I love that, like, because Dad gets involved. There's some of these fabrics that are coming up that Dad was with me when he picked them. He helped me pick them. It wasn't just Mum. Okay, this next one is from the Textile Centre, and it is white, grey and blue stripes of Newport lace, and it does actually have a smell. So I think I need to wash this, but I got it from the Textile Centre. It was, I think it was £7 a metre, and I got 7 metres of it because I don't 100% know what I'm going to do with it, but I know that I want to make a self-portrait inspired dress with this. And I have some black cotton trim that's like one of these stripes, but I have that, and I think that around the edges of the neckline, around the waistband, parts of the skirt, I think that's going to look really cool. I also think it's going to be an absolute pig to work with, but given that it was £7 a metre, did I order 7 or 6? I think I might have ordered 6 meters. Yes, I ordered 6 and it was £7. I like the idea of this one because it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't eye-wateringly expensive like some of these ones were, so I can have a play with this. And that's why I bought so much of it as well, is because it's not the sort of thing you can make a muslin of the dress shape, but you can't really play with it in the same way to get the same effect. And a lot of the self-portrait dresses have Nude Illusion slips underneath them, so they have the dress that goes over the top, and then there's just a slip that is a flesh-toned slip that provides modesty. So yeah, this one's going to be quite fun, and I actually can see myself making this one quite soon, because as I say, it's not something that's I'm super precious about like some of these other ones. A little face, she's like, wait, why are you moving it? You carry on having a bath. Look at my leg. Look at my leg. This next one is from Saudi Arabia, and I saw it in one of the fabric malls in a shop. They had one of the nice things that they did, and again I'll try and put some photos up here. One of the nice things that they did about those shops was, and I saw it on the Gold Hawk Road as well, so it's not like they're the only ones that thought of it, but they draped their fabrics to make them look like outfits, to give you an idea of what they could be. And some of those dresses I was just like, I want that dress. They had this one on a mannequin, and it was draped over a black silk dupioni, but can you see how the edges just all cut away? It's stunning. It's so pretty. And then it has small little floral embroidered motifs all over the top of the neck. So I had planned, I was working out the circumference of my full 5-panel circle skirt to try and work out what that was, because I couldn't make a circle skirt out of this because of it's a border print or a border embroidery. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough of this around the bottom edge to then be gathered in at the top, and given that it's net, I thought that would work over a full circle skirt, and that was what I was going to use the 5 or 6 meters of black dupioni that I had that you saw in the last video. And yes, and then I was like, ooh, maybe I should put colour underneath of it, and that's where I can't work out where that blue and purple silk has gone, because that blue and purple silk under this would have been fabulous. So yes, but this is going to be a Kittenish Behaviour grace dress. I intend on cutting out some of these motifs from the top. I intend on cutting out a lot of those and then building that up around the neckline, and then having the rest of it just, yeah, it's going to be beautiful. I was going to make this like 2 years ago. I've shown you you guys this fabric before in one of my fabric hauls, and I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to make with it. And then I just completely ran out of time. I think it was around Christmas time, and Christmas time for me at work was just horrendous, utterly horrendous. So that never got made. But yes, I have 3.5, no I don't, I have 4 meters of this one. Oh, it's so pretty. This next one I have already had made into a dress. I didn't make it into a dress, but again, it was the KB Grace Dress inspiration fabric, and it is from Singapore, and my ex bought me this, and this was really expensive, really expensive. Like I said, this and that other one that I showed you in the silk stash one came to £400 for, I had 3 meters of this and 4 meters of that. So yeah, expensive, but it is stunning, absolutely stunning. It has pearls embroidered all over it, and the scalloped detail along the edge. Now again, I don't have very much of this left because I already have a full skirted dress made out of this stuff. And what I'm planning for this is, there is a simplicity dress which I bought for a customer, and it ended up not working for her, so I had to get her a Lacala pattern in the end. But it's this simplicity dress, and it has a V that goes right down to the waist. And what I intend to do is use that bodice. Oh yeah, that's the only trouble with these, that the stones do come off. But I intend to use this over that front panel, and then have the scalloped bit at the top there, and then I think it's going to have to be a pencil skirt from the rest of the scallops, because I don't think there's enough left for a full skirt. In fact, I know there's not enough left for a full skirt again. So this is going to be some kind of evening dress. I think the rest of it, actually, you know what, I have 3 meters of that black silk Dupioni, so black silk for the rest of the possibly little scalloped sleeves, if I've got enough of the edging to do that, then the bit there, and then just the net everywhere else, and then a little mini skirt. Yes, that's what I'm going to do with that one. I think it's simplicity. It could be new look though. Next up, oh, this is the last of the ones that my mum and dad bought for me together. They bought, as I said, they bought 3, and this is the last of those. This is very heavily beaded, and I can hear the beads, some of the beads falling off already. And then the hem is like that. So yeah, it's really pretty. It's very heavy. There's 3 meters of this as well, and it's going to be that Lacala dress with the solid black waistband, and then Nude Illusion everywhere else. And again, I think I've got enough of this to do a full skirt Nude Illusion, because it's quite wide and the scallop is on both edges. So yeah, that's, I mean, it's going to be an absolute pig to work with, because, you know, beads hate machines and they just break needles, and it's going to be fun. I mean, yeah, it will be fine. I will wear safety goggles and I will, yeah, it will be fine. But those 3 are going to look beautiful. My battery died, so I can't remember what the last thing I was saying was, but oh yeah, sewing with this stuff is going to be fun. Yeah, so this next one, I've never seen anything like it, and I think Dad took a video of me walking into the shop, so if I can find it, I'll include it.
I'm coming in.
But it was magpie heaven. I think I mentioned it earlier, but Saudi Arabian shops were just so bright and sparkly. It was just amazing. So this was, Mum had gone back to work. I had stayed a bit longer than my brother and sister-in-law had, because they'd come out for a week and I stayed for 18 days the first time round, and it was October. So this is my Christmas present from Mum and Dad. And as I say, Mum had gone back to work, so Dad was looking after me and taking me out and entertaining me and shopping with me, which was amazing of him. And he was the one, I think I saw this, and he was the one that talked me into this. Now you can hear stones dropping on the floor, but it's so covered in stones. And I saw this on a mannequin, and it was kind of draped across the edge of a mannequin, and it was just like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And then they showed me this colour and I was hooked. But look, it comes down, it's all attached, a long piece at the top, and then it comes down into these points at the bottom. So the guy was like, oh, it's I can't remember what it was per point, per long piece, but he had 4 left on this particular piece of fabric. So I've got 4 of the long pointy bits. I'm not doing a very good job of just showing just how beautiful this stuff is, but it was sold per pointy bit, and then they kind of cut, let's see if they've done it on this edge. I think they did it on this. They cut strategically along the edge, so it wasn't just a straight up and down. They kind of snipped into the motifs in a semi sympathetic way, although some of this has frayed. What's the other edge like? Yeah, that one's slightly better, because yeah, I think that was just the finished final edge of the thing. This one's slightly better. This one is where they've chopped it all off. They sold it by point, per long dangly bit, and there were 4 left, and I was going to get 3, and I think Dad was like, oh no, just get the 4, get the 4. And I think it was £140 for this piece, which is over a metre. It's 1.5 metres. Yeah, about 1.5 metres, but 140 quid. So this may be one of the most expensive things I have ever, mind you, I don't know how much Mum and Dad paid for this Dior silk that I have, so yeah. But I really want to turn this into an evening gown, funnily enough. And the idea I have in my head, and the nice thing about this is that you can cut it apart. So the idea I have in my head is a really full circle skirt and a 5-panel circle skirt, because the 5-panel circle skirt has a seam there and there, and then a seam there and there, and then obviously the back seam with the zipper. But my plan was that I'd have one of the long points going down to the hem of the skirt, covering over each seam, so it went out like that. So I'd have the 4 points like that, and this skirt's going to have this. I bought a silk dupioni back there, which I thought was closer. It is the kind of right colour for the crystals, but it's not the right colour for the edging of this. The silk underneath this needs to either be bronze or a sea green colour, and then all of this stuff along the top would be cut apart and hand sewn to the bodice in a sympathetic way that looked awesome. Not like I just did there. And that's my plan for this lace. I have not worked up the courage to use this as yet, because as you can imagine, slightly scary, and also I don't have anywhere to wear it. But it is utterly beautiful, and one of those things that I just, every now and again, I like to get out and put over my head like an idiot. So yeah, this was my Christmas present from 3 years ago, I think, and it's so pretty, so pretty, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, terrified of ruining it, but absolutely love it. And then, so we went out to Saudi Arabia in October, and then we went back out in April. Yes, was it April? Yes, we did. We went back out the following April. So this is my birthday present from Mum, and Mum came shopping with me for this one. So can you tell that I like those colours? And look at the dimension on that. There's, you know, that's the appliqued flower. Oh, look. So this is very wide. It is a seaweedy green, well, seafoam green kind of colour. It's on net, and it doesn't have scalloped edges. It finishes in netting. So there's quite a lot of netting at the top and a smaller border of netting at the bottom. I have 3 meters of it. It has more, this one has just the purpley gold AB crystals on it. This one has those purpley gold AB crystals and then also black crystals all over it. So it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this one. The other one, at least I have an idea for. So meters, see, foam, crystal, nice. Oh, it's heavy. This is a bit of a workout. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this one at all. It was a choice between this one or a silver lace that just had Swarovski crystals everywhere, and that one was even more expensive than this one. I think this one was about £140 for the 3 meters. That other one was £140 for 1.5 meters, and I decided to err on the side of volume rather than density of crystals, so I went for this one instead of that other one. That other one I would have done like a 90s night dress slip kind of dress with it, but then where do I wear that kind of thing? And it was very 90s, and that was 2-3 years ago, so that wasn't really in then. It would be very in now. But yeah, I decided to go with this one instead of that other one. But that one has haunted me a little bit because it was a little bit like, oh, but it was so sparkly. But yeah, that's just my magpie coming out. But this is just, there's that one. Oh, right, now we're into the crepe back satin. So you know I've been saying all the time that I've got the nude coloured crepe back satin, and to go under some of these laces. These are the solid laces, that solid crepes that go with them. So the first one I have is this copper, and this is to go with the sequins from earlier. So I really think those two really need to go together. I mean, this would be the most decadent lining for a coat. It really would be stunning, but I just think it needs to go with these sequins because yeah, they look beautiful together. So I have 3 meters and yeah, some kind of dress, but it's so pretty. This stuff was about, ooh, I want to say £8 a meter as well. It wasn't cheap. It's not silk, but it feels amazing. It's lovely. And I think it's going to be fairly decent-ish to work with as well. I don't think it's going to be an absolute nightmare to work with. This next one is actually a lining fabric, and we got this at the same time that we bought this one. So I have, again, 3 meters of this, and I think it does need to, because it is the perfect colour to go with that one. And any ideas for that lace, let me know, because it's got to have a full skirt. I don't want a straight up and down gown. Yeah, so full skirt. So I mean, that's no surprise. There's crystals everywhere. So I've got 1 meter of the black satin back crepe, because I bought the other ones. I think I've got ½ meter, but this one I thought would be really useful for other things. So sorry, it's crepe back satin, not satin back crepe. Isn't the difference between those only the way that you use it? But yeah, so there's the black to go with the black lace down here. So this one, this is the one that I got to go with the turquoise, and they're just, no, they're not right together. So the turquoise one is going to end up with the waist panel of the skirt being something else, but this actually would work really well in with that pointy lace panels. So, but I now have 50 centimeters of this. So there's that one. Now this one I have 3 meters of, because I bought this to go underneath the grey silk devoré that I showed you in the last silk stash one, and it's to make this wrap dress. So I have the grey silk devoré to go over the top of this, and then this is actually Spanish, apparently, made in Spain, and yeah, crepe back satin again, so it's sky blue, let's say sky blue, but I know I've got 3 meters of this. And then the final one is navy, and it's to go with the navy lace that I showed you earlier, and again 50 centimeters. So yeah, that's going to go with the navy lace. And it might, I can't decide if the Nude Illusion is going to look weird with the middle broken up, or if that's going to be slimming. So I will have a play around, because it may well end up being that I use Nude Illusion everywhere, or I put the lace over this bit as well and don't just have this just plain. In fact, I think it probably would look better with the lace over this as well, but just with this sort of hugging in the middle. But yeah, that's the last one of that drawer. So that's the super fancy silks and laces shelf completely done. Yeah, I have lots of fabric. 17 fabrics in there. I hate to think how much all of those have cost, but you know, that's not the purpose of this. It's to sort of show you guys what I've got, bounce ideas off of you, and make a record of all the things that I have, and then I can add to the record as I add to my stash, which, you know, I have been doing. So yes, this is the fancy shelf done and dusted. How many have we got left now? We've got, ooh, we've only got 1 shelf left, 3 piles. They are 3 of the biggest piles though, but yeah, there's only 1 shelf left. That's cool. So I really hope you've enjoyed having a look through my laces and fancy fabrics, and it's been really fun to get them out and stroke them and play with them again. So I've enjoyed it. I really hope you have too. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye. Gotta put it all away now.